Namaste. Hello, Pisces. How are you? This is going to be your general reading for the sign of Pisces, in addition to a customized love reading for the sign of Pisces. Let's get into this Piscean way of figuring out how to pioneer your own voice, getting your own talents ahead of you in a Pisces way. No longer being afraid of the way that you flicker and you shine, because you have to secure your own grind. It's not being overcritical of yourself in such a time. You have the moon in Mars in a conjunction. So it's all about the fulfillment through what inertia, and that is your special talent. It's coming back into the world from your own world, but integrating what you've learned along the way. Let's get into this reading. Mercury retrograde begins August 4th. Namaste. Ground your energy. Four of Wands, Spirit, what message do you have for the sign of Pisces? Commitment, 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 solid commitment. Taking a stance for something. You can't take it anymore. No longer can you take it. It's the Tower. You have the High Priestess coming in. You've been in prayer. You may need to celebrate overcoming grief in a way, and condolences to those that have watched others ascend to a greater assignment, that actually have been asking for a way to say that you've seen the best in them. And by seeing the best in them, the way that you saw them with whatever point of view is the point of view that you should use to succeed forward into your next part of your destiny. Because you have the Queen of Cups upright in the future. You have the Ten of Cups upright in the future. You have the Temperance card. Oh my God. So Mercury is actually going in retrograde to give other people a chance to not embrace the butterflies in your gut. You're going to watch them fly. You're going to look up the color of that butterfly. You're going to learn that spiritual meaning. One is tranquility. One is being a monarch. The other one is about movement from one place to another, transition, embracing the new you in whatever light and whatever time you appear to you without letting you go, you know? Let's get this overall energy, Spirit. What messages do you have for the sign of Pisces? Seven of Swords, making something of a critic in yourself or the world. Don't be afraid of criticism from the world, because it's 7.5 billion people afraid of the same thing. They just are occupied within themselves, speaking to you the best that they can to try to deviate you from even noticing when they are on the same fear, you know? So you're either going to stay focused, or you're going to become someone's escape. So don't take words too close to heart. You know, you got the Six of Pentacles, where you're going to be brought in somebody that can communicate with you in your realm of excellence, in your fashion, your way that you will prefer. And it's about bringing in that you might be looking for some type of some type of common agreement. Because you have the Chariot too. So having that opportunity to say, you know what, if you got a bonfire and if the bonfire gets out of control, you got the water on it and enough time to douse it and do whatever you needed to do and keep going. So it's more so just like when you get a new goal, you have to see what emotional go-to plan that you're going to go to. You need the proper amount of meditation, the proper amount of sunlight, the proper amount of just active rest that is being woke while you're not sleeping on your goals. See, right now you're in a season of having to store up for a different season, and you're comparing the gratitude then to the necessary gratitude now. The gratitude and the first seasons change, it's hot, oh my God, is the same tenacity that you have to go these next few months without being a part of the energy collectively of the world that's ungrateful for what has been here that has to change soon. But we're on the bits and pieces of it, so it's asking to keep your optimism. That's all it is. It's just your optimism. So you will want to keep that in ways where it can light your way in the most gloomiest of moments, because you have the 9 of Wands reversed. Congratulations. And it's just getting out of being that person that goes, you know what? It's like going camping, and you tell people that you're going camping with, you know what? Grab those camping supports. Grab the supports to hold the tent, please. And they go, oh, we don't need those. But when you get there and they put the tent, they just sit the tent on your head and tell you to stand in the middle of the tent and hold it up. And you're just like, oh my God, I didn't expect that type of action, but it's better to see, because you will never do that again on another camping adventure with them. It's just that you're going to learn people. You're going to learn that, oh my God, they don't respect themselves because they didn't want to be reliable and thorough. They didn't want to accomplish the goal in a safe manner. So you're going to actually see where you're ready to grow, which way you're ready to travel, and having to not get caught up with the 9 of Pentacles, that self-preservation, because you know how you see the world, and you know that you have to live within it. And sometimes you can feel as if you're above land, and where's the water? Where's the energy? Where's the emotion to keep seeing the world as its worldly self, unequivocal to your responsibility? You don't have to take on the world, and the world doesn't have to take on you. It's like, instead of 2 sidewalks with no street in the middle, it's just like, watch how you have time to treat yourself. You want to treat yourself right, because you want to make sure you can treat others right. And if you can't treat yourself right, you can't give it. So it's getting back to how to improve a person that already has a super skill of being a Piscean, that it's all about self-love. And they'll go to the greatest extent to protect it. And now you have to further strengthen what you thought was already at its strongest, at its coldest, at its most unfadable. So back to the lecture at hand. So it's just like, it's doing that renewing of vows, renewing of your commitments, rebaptism. It's getting that application of what is your, not ceremonial technique, but what is your cleansing technique to begin something that has to continue. You want to take time to say congratulations to yourself and others along the way, because having that opportunity to say, this is what you're capable of. And for the past 2 weeks, this is what you felt capable of. Because upon Mercury retrograding, Mercury doesn't retrograde to knock us all on our butts. It does it as gently as it can, but it's the most harsh feeling, So because it's already melancholy that it has to do that. It wants to keep moving forward communication, but it has to turntable it up for you a little bit. So you can language arts flex. You kind of want to strengthen those categories. You want to work on your nouns, your people, places, and things. You want to work on your descriptions better, because out of describing something, you can better direct something. So therefore, if you can direct, you can receive, because one day you're going to need those directions. So to live a non-misleading life is to understand how to not judge the beauty of undeniable truth. Undeniable truth shows up in the flow of an energy that is God-given, uncontestable by anyone, yet it could be critiqued by even yourself. And you have to stop that one moment. It could be critiqued by you, and having to get to that next part of life where you find comfort in the category of excellence that you are in. The Two of Cups, it's meeting with God on a stage, a ceremonial stage, and you're getting your goals accomplished to say that instead of saying, I know it all, I know it all, I know which way to go, I've traveled this world before, blah, 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 you're like, you know what, I'm going to test God. And I'm going to take God's test. I'm going to see if God likes my tone of voice when I seek God. So therefore, when I go to gain from God in the most righteous way, I can go comfortably, not feeling like a nuisance to God, because there's so many of us. And that's just the empathy of the Most High. And it's having the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to hone my gentle side. I'm going to hone my divine masculine, you know. Therefore, when I think I need to give up or go and call it quits, I know how to ride out the true meaning of it. And I also know how to do the divine feminine thing, and that is to nurture thyself along the way with healthy self-talk, knowing that when procrastination gets too far, don't go too far in the words that are being rotated within, that are becoming a bunch of alphabet jumbled inside of a little tumbler. And that's when the moments are like, wow, you know, that's where that tower is in the past, where having to be a goat of the tower, and that is knowing these are not of me. Fear is not of me. Unfocusedness is not of me. Procrastination is a part of life. It is not of me. It is an energy. It is a street. I can go down another street, and that street is called adversity. And in the face of adversity, when you could have procrastinated, what can you achieve? What can you no longer wait to undo? So it's having, instead of going out and speaking about what you need to get and what you used to have and how you need to continue to get some more before it runs out. It's knowing that you are already enough. It is knowing that you're the sum total of the word complete. So take your completed self and go compete in the arena of God. And once God asks you, what have you learned? Let's open that sacral chakra. What have you learned? What have you let go? What have you continued to keep until it's time to bring about, but you don't forget to check for it. You don't forget to exercise it. You don't forget to practice it. You don't forget to appreciate it. You don't forget to water it and let it nurture your soul. What parts of you are you sharing with yourself? Therefore, when you go about the world can see the beauty of God in you without even complimenting you. You just compliment the nature of life. You belong. You're seeking to belong. You're seeking the permission to belong to another. You're seeking the permission to tell them that you have love like no other. And you want them to embrace you and never let you go and water you and eat up under your tree, because you are an everlasting tree of life. Being adaptable. Being that person that is trying to speak up in a world so loud that you can adapt to whatever the circumstance is. You might want to communicate, because you have the Six of Pentacles on the table. So you want to show your strength. And you want to tell whoever you're communicating with that they're strong. Their hiccups, communicatable hiccups are strong or doable. You're going to be communicating with someone where they're going to hiccup when they talk. They're going to hiccup when they talk. They're going to sneeze when they talk. They're going to fumble over a couple of letters and a word, get tongue-tied a little bit when they talk. And you have to be the one to tell them, you know what, I like the way you talk. I like the way you walk. I like the way that you put together the pieces and never fall apart. You know? And you have to have an agreement that you're going to answer that universal call. That universal call. When God is testing you in front of another person, are you going to shoot God off like God cannot speak to you? But when you really want something, are you going to go speak and find God and really hunt God down? Like, damn, God was just here speaking to you. So God is like, speak to me in front of everybody and don't be ashamed of my response, and I shall speak to you back in ways that create brand new pathways for critics and commentators and spectators to see us, yet find their own way in the midst of our words, and therefore our communication is safe. No one can infiltrate what they did not prepare to protect. Yet you're going to learn to have someone to walk with, even if it's your divine masculine and divine feminine, you know? Because one guy in this picture has on a two-piece pink suit, and the other guy has on all white, kind of like gold, with this gold brace around his body. So he supports his posture and what keeps him going and what he's willing to sit and listen to, because the beauty of the soul is what comes out the soul. What comes out the soul determines the beauty of the person, not what they have to trample through in their mind. It's about their fact that when you trample in your mind, you're being called to sort out this trample and get on that spiritual trampoline, and you just gotta bounce with it and get through it, you know? So God is actually asking for that cleverness, intelligence, that wit and humor. You cannot complain about having to put in a little elbow grease, because that person that you're trying to communicate with just might be watching to see how you act under pressure, and they might have hidden their spiritual depth. See, what you thought was shallow to you may be even more shallower to them. So you have to reach the depth of their soul. And when you reach the depth of their soul, you both learn what the true meaning of shallow is. It's being able to get problems solved with the simplicity of words. And depth is your actions. So you're looking at, if you're going along this journey and one person gets a little parched along the way, are you going to pass them some of your water? Are you going to water their soul with encouragement? Are you going to accept that you can trust their watering ways that they're giving you? Are you going to trust their embraces because they embraced themselves, then embrace you? They didn't hide their love language, and they are universally equipped with togetherness and preparedness to push forward. Let me get some water. Should have brought it, but here it is. Turn on the peacock water. The sound resonated within the liquid, so I want that sound to be really fueled with solar energy. I wanted to cleanse my solar. I wanted to embrace my anatomy and improve it for the better. So if you want to do the same thing, I wouldn't drink half because that's what I recommend. But it's good. So you have the Two of Swords. You want to give proper instruction and receive proper instruction. And therefore, namaste, Pisces. Give and receive as you are giving and receiving to yourself, and treat it like a sweet potato pie, and give pieces to others. Just do it sweetly, okay? Namaste.